that because that's their beliefs. If they get in office, this will be their opportunity to take away our voting rights. Why do they visit this amendment, this law, every 25 years?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why isn't it just settled that we have the right to vote and that's it? Because I'm telling you, you get
because you're the wrong color.
That's right. You get the wrong president and the right Senate and the right House, and people, you can be sitting back here looking and don't have the right to vote before you know what's happening. And that is why we constantly encourage everybody. And I'm so proud this week, Jackie, because I changed my little niece's, man. I'm not going to call her name.
Okay.
But I saw where she's a young woman, 3 children in her 20s. I saw where she told all of Facebook, don't trust none of them, don't vote. Woo, honey, I had to call down to her house and let me have a chit chat with you, my baby. Okay, so you have 3 babies. Do you get welfare? Yes, ma'am. Oh, you do. And do you know that Romney wants to make sure that you don't never get another one, you and your children? No, I didn't know that. So I'm saying that because I love my baby, and she what I'm so proud about is that she wrote me, and bless her heart, she sent me a video on YouTube. And of course it was a right-wing video, and I'm sure she watched it while she was smoking a little weed, and it got her. You know, when you smoke weed, you think everything's beautiful and right.
Yes.
And it scared her to death. And she said, this is why I'm concerned, because they say Obama want to make us a police state, and they want cameras on every corner.
They. Who is they?
I said, this is exactly why you should vote for Barack Obama. This video ought to do it for you. And so
the problem with her is,
well, I don't want to bash my baby. Here's what I'm about to compliment on. She wrote me and said to me yesterday on Facebook, okay, Aunt B, I'll never tell anybody never to vote again. And I'm going to vote, and I'm going to vote Barack. Now, I wasn't trying to bash her in the head that she had to vote for Barack, but I was bashing her, telling her, don't you ever tell somebody not to vote. Your ancestors bled, fought, and died. Do you know there was a time when it was illegal for you to read a book?
That's right.
Get an education.
It was legal for blacks to read.
And you get the right president, the wrong president, and the right House and Senate, and these bastards can do it again.
Yes, and
say it's against that's how they do it, Jackie. They make the laws, and Jackie's going to be talking to y'all a little bit later on before we leave the show tonight about the voter suppression laws and where we are with some of those rulings.
Yes, and I also wanted to turn everybody on, for those of you who do not read the New York Times. I know that's a lot of people, but I will encourage everybody to go to the New York Times website and read David Brooks's column today. Because David Brooks is a well-known conservative. And he wrote a column entitled Thurston Howell Romney.
And who is Thurston Howell, Jackie? Tell our listeners.
Oh, Thurston Howell was a character on a television show that came on in the 60s called Gilligan's Island.
That's right.
And he and his lovely wife were millionaires.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that is in, this is really a good op-ed column that Brooks wrote. Yes. And I'm not a big David Brooks fan. But there are a couple of points that he made in this column that I just wanted to point out to folks. One is, he says that Romney's comments suggest that he doesn't know much about the culture of America. The other thing that he points out is that many Republicans don't seem to understand that the American people are not childlike worshipers of big government. And he goes on to point out that, and this is a quote, the people who receive the disproportionate share of government spending are not big government lovers. They are Republicans. They are senior citizens. They are white men with high school diplomas. People who have benefited from the entitlements explosion are middle-class workers more so than the dependent poor.
And let me add Michelle Bachman and her husband in the Pray the Gay Away clinic.
Absolutely,
They getting about $170,000 a year of taxpayers' money, claiming to pray the gay away. Have you ever heard of such bullshit? Frackalnacker bullshit. They pimping us like 40 going north.
Paul Ryan, the biggest hypocrite out there. Well, one of the biggest hypocrites out there.
Yeah.
How are you going to sit up on one hand? See, this is what gets me about Republicans voting for these people. How are you going to sit up on one hand, you bashing the president for his stimulus bill, when you approved of the one Bush had, and then on top of the one you're bashing, you send a letter to the Secretary of Energy.
Sent 5 letters.
Asking for money for your district and saying, and I quote, it'll help create jobs.
Amen, Dennis. It'll help create jobs. But when Barack Obama says
the stimulus was a bust, and it did help create jobs, but it'll help create jobs in your district.
And he got $21 million for his district. He wrote 5 letters because he knew.
But you're against the stimulus. It's a bad thing. It's bad. It keeps spending.
Well,
why are you asking for all that money then, clown?
Because stimulus is going to make Barack Obama look like a sane, and not only that, he already looks sane, but they know that the country is going to come out of this stink. It's already coming out of it. And I say again, are we better off than we were 4 years ago? Hell yes, and hell yes.
There's a new poll out also. There's a new poll out. Obama is tied with Romney on who would best handle the economy.
Well, the last poll I saw on that, Dennis, he was up 3.
No, last one I saw it was 43-43.
Well, you know, there are a lot of them.
It is simply what the Romney campaign is concerned about, is that Romney used to have an advantage in this area, and he doesn't.
And he doesn't. And he doesn't.
What I'm praying for is that a majority of the people who vote this November are people who have decided that we need to stay the course. We're not going back, because all Romney is talking about doing is a U-turn back to the George W.
That's right.
policies, so that he can have no tax liability whatsoever.
And he doesn't care. He doesn't care if other people are jumping out of windows and killing themselves because they lost the 401ks. It's said by every economist that they are going through the roof now. The stock market's going through the roof.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I tend to agree with what's his name, Rick.
Rick Santorum.
Yes.
You don't agree with Rick Santorum? Said what?
Rick Santorum said that, hey, if we're gonna run Romney, he's like, pick any Republican in the country.
That's right, because he is the worst.
If we're gonna run Romney, well, we might as well stay with what we got right now.
Not only that, but Jackie, we talked about this show before about when they look at serial killers, they look back into their lives, what they did as children. Whether they killed animals and shit. And listen, when we get Mitt Romney's childhood, holding down the gay kid in school and cutting his hair, y'all really think about this. Think about your hair on your head and how important it is to you. And think about somebody grabbing it and cutting it off as though you were in the concentration camp and they just, sit you down and cut holes in you. Mitt Romney had his gang of thugs hold this kid down and cut his hair out of his head. Just any which way the scissors fell. Now, you really think about that, and I'm telling you, you're going to see evil here.
May I please interject in here, please?
Please, yes, Jackie.
Anyone who's listened to this show for a while knows that Brenda brings this up from time to time because she loves her hair, and this really bothers her a lot.
Yeah. Everybody love their hair.
And I just want to say that we are not saying that Mitt Romney is a serial killer.
No, but he's close to it. He's a bully.
I would also like to add to what Brenda said in reference to that story about him in high school. If you add up all of these things that Mitt Romney has said and done through the course of the campaign, I like to fire people. I don't care about the very poor. I don't care about the 40% of people who do not pay income taxes. That is a theme that is developing.
And Jack, and he doesn't care about this country, or he wouldn't have his money off in offshore banks, at least 8 of them.
I'm going to tell y'all why this guy's running for president. He can't tell any.
He just wants to be powerful.
Why he's running, but I can tell y'all why he's running. Okay. He's running to do something that his daddy never did.
I agree totally, Dennis. I've said it over and over on this show. He's running because power. He just wants to have that power. Well, we don't like you, Mitt Romney.
That's true.
You know, back in the day, Jackie, they used to have a commercial for the Mormons, Latter-day Saints.
Yes.
And I used to think back in that day, this is a beautiful religion, I believe, and you know, and why do people pick on them and stuff? But Mitt Romney gives you a look into Mormonism that you think, shit, if praise this some bitch.
Wow.
You know, I don't want no part of that. And they used to have, I always thought the Mormon, I didn't know about their whole beliefs and stuff. And I didn't know that black folks weren't even accepted in their churches until 1970 something, 73 or something like that. But this boy here, and he is a bishop in the Mormon church. He's like one of the leaders. And that is very, very, very scary. But I'm telling you, everything this man does, it doesn't even say that he loved America. And, you know, since America was so hard on his granddaddy, because he wanted to have several hoes at a time. Concubines, I'm sorry.
Oh, my.
I don't think the whole damn family liked America, but it was better here than it would have been in Germany or somewhere.
Well, the thing about that, too, Brenda, is that if that is his only reason for being annoyed with America, I wonder if he can imagine how some black folks must feel.
You would think that he does, but it doesn't sound like they do. And listen,
it doesn't sound like he does at all.
And listen, anybody that don't understand the pains of a dog.
Well, Brenda, listen, I would think that it would be nice for us to end this conversation on a lovely note, because we have talked about, you know, old mean ass.
Yeah, well, just let me finish saying this, Jack, and then we'll go wherever you want to go. Anybody that doesn't understand the pains and the misery of a dog that you can't claim to love, how you gonna love people like that? How you gonna care about you? His own damn dog had to shit all on the car before he realized, stop this mother and let me out.
He's already said that should he become president, he's only going to be president of 53% of the country.
That's right.
And everybody else can drop dead. It's just like our.
And he said the dog liked it up there in that little bitty cage, and so.
And the dog likes it because he told the dog. Of course he likes it. You like it? Go ahead and say it. You like it.
Dennis Good Black Winston, my son, thank you so much for joining the conversation tonight. We just wanted to hear from a real veteran.
No problem.
A real supporter of this country, a real person that loves this country, as honorable guest that has served this country, and as opposed to the chicken hawk dodging, no good, no hustle, baby. All right.
That will send your kid to war in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
A lot of the Republicans will, and half of them ain't served, but they always quit.
Ain't none of them served.
I don't like punks.
Me either, Dennis.
I don't like people that you talk with your mouth, but when they come to action, you standing behind somebody else. Go get him. Go get him. Don't you go get him?
Because he's a coward.
Don't you shoot up. Nicholson said, grab a weapon and stand opposed. Otherwise, shut up. Shut up.
And on having said that, Dennis, that is
chicken hawk coward.
That is a great ending, son. We love that. Mama's going to talk.
Streaks down their back with tar and feathers on their back.
Mama's going to talk to you about having your 15-minute or 30-minute say every morning right here at Spreaker.com. I think your cult following would love to hear from you.
Well,
you know, he wakes up, Jack, every morning and he starts some shit on Facebook.
I don't start.
And he have about 200 folks. Dennis is awake, chiming in.
Well, I did get an opportunity to read one of his posts on Facebook after the Cowboys got their butts handed